To communicate her philosophy and expectations for county employees, Manager Lieberman has given us the 5 C's. They begin with confidence. We are experts in our field and can be trusted and relied on. We take personal responsibility for assignments. We're expected to get the job done well, and done on time.
Number 2 is consideration. We deliberately think about how our words and actions will affect our residents and coworkers. Kindness, respect, empathy, compassion, and professionalism are our tools.
Number 3 is collaboration. We include others. Outreach in the decision-making process includes stakeholders, residents, other government agencies, and our coworkers.
Number 4 is creativity. We are always finding better, more efficient, and effective ways of doing things. We have the confidence to use our imagination. Because we've always done it that way is no reason to settle or be satisfied.
Number 5 is culture. We are responsible for creating a culture that values diversity, equity, and inclusion. Every day, we make choices that improve and strengthen our culture.
To the 5 C's, I add a 6th, communication. Communication is the thread that must run through everything we do. Communication between staff, the commissioners, and of course, our residents. We are dedicated to finding new and better ways to communicate, engage, and conduct public outreach. Before we move on, I want to acknowledge the employees of the internal departments and divisions not highlighted in this report. They include Information and Telecom Services, Budget and Fiscal Services, Human Resources, Communications, Equal Opportunity, and others. Without the outstanding efforts of these employees, none of what we do would be possible. I would also like to acknowledge the invaluable contributions of County Attorney Sylvia Torres and her dedicated team. Their accomplishments include assuming responsibility for all county public records requests and implementing the county's first public records request software, supporting the development and enactment of a new local government surtax, and updating many outdated county employee policies and procedures. One of Attorney Torres' goals for the upcoming year is to streamline the provision of public records for both the public and county staff, and assisting in complying with the new legislation and home rule preemptions through updates to county code, policies, and procedures. Now, I would like to highlight some of our major accomplishments. I'm particularly proud of the grand opening of the Alachua County Sports and Events Center at Celebration Point. The completion of this project is a testament to the vision of current and past county commissions. The grand opening was the culmination of the hard work of county staff and our partners at Celebration Point. Annually, this project will generate over $77 million in economic activity, over 100,000 hotel room nights, and millions in tax revenues for our community. It will create over 1,000 jobs with annual wages of over $25 million. Finally, I want to express my gratitude to Alachua County voters for passing the 10-year, 1 penny Wild Spaces Public Places Infrastructure Surtax. This successful ballot initiative will not only allow us to continue the critical effort of protecting lands for the sake of our environment and to continue to invest in parks and recreation, it will have a generational impact on our roads and allow us to invest in affordable housing projects. Through their actions, this county commission has decided that the time is now to tackle our massive road challenges. With the decision to allocate 70% of the second half penny, along with other funding sources, we are dedicating nearly $250 million to tackling hundreds of road projects. Now, it is my pleasure to present the 2023 Alachua County Annual Report.
The International Association of Firefighters and the County Commission ratified a collective bargaining agreement worth more than $3.2 million. This agreement addresses firefighters' work-life balance by providing more time off with Kelly Days, increases our ability to recruit and retain firefighters. Last July, we hosted the first annual Summer Gator Fire Games. These games brought youth cadets from all over the state of Florida to Gainesville to compete in a myriad of exercises. Fire Department youth cadet programs provide opportunities for high school age students to learn about the fire rescue career. Last August, Fire Rescue received accreditation for its emergency medical services. ACFR is one of 190 agencies in the United States to receive this prestigious accreditation. It recognizes that we provide the gold standard of pre-hospital medical care. We are working to be recognized as a state of Florida urban search and rescue team by having the specialized equipment and training to respond to high-angle rescues, trench or cavern rescues, heavy machinery extrication, and building collapses. In partnership with UF Health, we will be the first in the state of Florida to place a mobile stroke transport unit in service. This unit brings definitive stroke care via 911 services to the home through video imagery with a vascular neurologist. We will provide advanced imagery and the delivery of life-saving medications while transporting patients. We are working towards being a part of the SWAT Medic program. This team supports the SWAT programs of the Sheriff's Office and the Gainesville Police Department. Our population is growing and service calls are increasing. Resources are needed to meet this increase. Smaller fire departments are struggling to keep the doors open and the state legislates unfunded mandates. Adding personnel and resources is challenging with funding limitations, but we must manage the workload and remain competitive in our wages and benefits to maintain the needed workforce.
The voters of Alachua County approved the infrastructure surtax on November 8, 2022. The County Commission has allocated 70% of the second half of the penny towards roadways. Following the approval, the Commission has taken steps to slow down the deterioration of our roadway system by adopting the pavement management system and the parameters necessary to obtain the best results. The available funding is estimated to increase from approximately $4.5 million to $17 to $18 million per year. During calendar year 2023, the public will see resurfacing and improvements of the following: Northwest 23rd Avenue from Northwest 58th Boulevard to I-75, Southwest 170th Street, County Road 241, from Levy County Line to Southwest 134th Avenue, Northeast 27th Avenue from Northeast 39th Boulevard to State Road 26, and Northeast-Northwest 53rd Avenue from US 441 to State Road 24. Starting in 2024, the public will see 7 to 15 road resurfacing projects per year over the next 10 years. That is thanks to the approval of the infrastructure surtax. Over the last year, the Public Works Department completed the installation of piping and permanent pumping stations at Robin Lane, Hills of Santa Fe, Pine Hills, Fletcher Mills, and Hayes Land. We also completed improvements at Heatherwood, Richmond Heights, and Emerald Woods. The construction of the Alachua County Sports and Event Center at Celebration Point will be completed by May 31st, 2023, and celebrated on June 10th. We had a soft opening with the first indoor track events on January 6th of 2023. On March 10th, the county celebrated the groundbreaking for the construction of the Fire Station 80 on Southwest 24th Avenue. The major challenge continues to be staffing, with the most challenging positions being in the county's Road and Bridge Department.
The Environmental Protection Department accomplished several goals in the last year, including the completion of 800 petroleum storage tank inspections, oversight of 329 active petroleum cleanup sites, and closure of 21 of these sites. In water resources, we completed watershed assessments, implemented a grant-funded social marketing campaign, and completed several projects that assisted with informing springs restoration efforts across the state. In natural resources, staff reviewed large-scale projects and conducted evaluations and reviews of proposed development projects. Additionally, we initiated a vulnerability analysis and continued efforts to develop a climate action plan. This year, EPD plans to update the irrigation design code, implement the grant-funded behavioral change campaign, and design grant-funded rebate programs for upgrading septic systems to nitrogen-reducing systems. EPD will also update the hazardous materials management code and increase hazmat compliance in Alachua County. We are also organizing our first climate event to develop collaboration toward the development of a countywide climate action plan. Through the Alachua County Forever program and voter-approved wild spaces and public places funding, we acquired 7,500 acres of environmentally significant land. ACF also completed prescribed burning, invasive plant surveys and treatments, and other restoration activities on 22 preserves, and hosted public meetings to engage citizens and management planning for 4 preserves. The Arboriculture Division planted 255 trees and identified 16 potential tree planting projects for 2023. In the upcoming year, we plan to close on 4 fee simple acquisitions and complete the design and permitting for public use parking lots. ACF will also continue invasive plant management and prescribe fire application and coordinate with agency partners to improve landscape level stewardship of our water resources and upland and wetland habitat. The Arboriculture Division's priority for 2023 will be to hire and train a full-time staff person to assist with tree maintenance and establishment.
2022 was another busy year for us. Last year, we processed approximately 200,000 tons of solid waste, 18,000 tons of recyclables, and 600 tons of hazardous waste at the Levita Brown Environmental Park and the 5 rural collection centers. In addition to maintaining the routine operations, we also completed some long-standing department projects and started new initiatives. By far, the most significant project was completing the repairs at the transfer station tipping floor. This project was a major challenge since it required that the work be done while maintaining normal operations at the facility, and it required significant coordination between county staff, contractors, local waste haulers, and the general public. We also continue to make progress in the implementation of the Zero Waste Plan and the goals adopted by the Board of County Commissioners. We created a new community-wide outreach event called the Eco Challenge, a scavenger hunt designed to encourage waste reduction, proper recycling, and conservation awareness. We also awarded 3 zero waste grants to local groups. The grants will improve the collection and management of organic waste and improve the material reuse infrastructure and opportunities in the county. Additionally, we are close to completing the negotiations for the siting of a construction and demolition debris materials recovery facility at the county's EcoLoop Industrial Park. Some of the goals for next year include selecting a company and negotiating an agreement for an exclusive residential and commercial solid waste hauler that will serve the county for the next 10 years, mitigating stormwater intrusion issues at the closed Southwest landfill, increasing our outreach and mobile collection events, and evaluating the use of automated sorting system to improve our recycling program.
The National 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline went live in July of 2022. Alachua County was awarded $1.2 million of funding from Lutheran Services of Florida to support this effort. The Crisis Center received approximately 45,000 calls, and the mobile response team responded to 292 on-site requests. The Community Stabilization Program held the county's first unclaimed burial memorial service, honoring those whose final disposition was assisted by our staff. The now annual service was coordinated with the faith-based community. Department staff engaged Copeland residents to plan for neighborhood improvements. We received 2 grants in addition to reallocated fund awards from the Federal Emergency Rental Assistance Program, totaling over $32 million to assist residents in remaining housed. A portion of this funding, along with sales tax, can be used for affordable housing projects. A pilot local housing voucher program was initiated to assist 10 homeless families waiting for a federal housing choice voucher. This is a partnership with a local agency and the Alachua County Housing Authority. The state awarded the county a CDBG coronavirus grant for the conversion of a former motel to 36 permanent housing apartments. The Foster Grandparent Program, soon to celebrate its 50th year, trained volunteers on the use of computers to access students remotely. They transitioned back into the classroom this year. The Homeless Services Program, in the 4th year of providing permanent supportive housing and rapid rehousing, served 92 individuals this year. Veteran Services staff assisted an increased number of residents in response to the PACT Act, which expanded eligibility for veterans and surviving spouses for VA care and benefits. Victim Services continue to serve sexual assault crime victims and received funding to add bilingual advocates, a therapist, and a victims' compensation specialist. The biggest challenge that is facing CSS is hiring qualified staff to fill vacancies.
The Department of Growth Management is responsible for comprehensive planning, zoning, development review, transportation planning, geographic information systems, and building permitting for the county. The county's population continues to grow. Alachua County has added 27,869 people in the last 5 years. Managing the impacts of that growth is the primary responsibility of the department. The last year was another significant year of development activity for the department, as we processed a total of 149 development plan applications, as well as 20 comprehensive plan amendments and rezoning applications. The department helped shepherd critical policy issues to the Board of County Commissioners, including the review of the Hickory Sink Special Area Study, as well as a review of equity and environmental justice policies of the comprehensive plan. The department is currently managing an inclusionary housing study aimed at helping to increase the supply of affordable housing in the community. Transportation planning staff successfully applied for and received the $262,500 Safe Streets for All grant in order to effectively plan for a safer transportation system for all users. Additionally, department staff worked with the City of Archer to apply for the Transportation Alternatives Grant for an extension of the Archer Braid Trail. The Building Division issued over 7,000 building permits, totaling over $415 million of construction activity within the county. These permits required over 34,000 building inspections by the department's excellent staff. Ensuring provisions for affordable housing is a primary challenge and goal for the department over the upcoming year. The department will continue to focus on equity, environmental justice, and community engagement so that we continue to stay on the cutting edge of community planning and ensure a bright future for Alachua County.
This year, the Tourist Development Council approved the Marketing Expenditure Plan, which invests bed tax across advertising platforms and tactics, including partnerships with Visit Florida and Visit Natural North Florida. Over $2.5 million in support was provided to sports tourism, nature and culture organizations, dozens of festivals, special events, and conferences. The investment, marketing, and administration of these programs continues to position Alachua County as a business-friendly community ready to support tourism-generating events and conferences year-round. The Alachua County Sip and Seven Digital Ale Trail Brewery campaign was launched and has thousands of signups and brewery check-ins to date. And the award-winning What's Good event guide, now in its 4th year, is sent to over 20,000 emails every week. An agro-tourism conference was convened to explore the ways Florida's biggest industries, agriculture and tourism, can work together locally, and the Florida Agro-Tourism Association Conference will be held in Gainesville this summer. The Alachua County Sports and Event Center at Celebration Point celebrates its opening and will bring $12 million in annual hotel impacts. The Alachua County Equestrian Center was booked over 40 weekends, hosting equestrian, agricultural events, festivals, and consumer showcases. On any given day, Alachua County averages over 3,200 visitors staying in paid accommodations who dine in our restaurants, shop in our stores, and enjoy the destination through enhancements made by the investment of bed tax in our county. The thousands of workers employed in the industry and dozens of partnerships maintained through Visit Gainesville Alachua County make tourism one of the county's leading economic drivers and position the destination for continued growth.
Parks and Open Space completed several projects this year. The department worked closely with a consultant to complete the Parks Master Plan, which was adopted by the board. This 10-year plan provides the department with a plan for much-needed parks improvements and identifies gaps in service areas where land acquisition should be prioritized. We are excited to see that Wild Spaces Public Places was renewed and that the board has dedicated 20% of the first half penny for active parks. The increased funding will be vital for achieving the master plan goals and projects. The Lake Alto restrooms were finished and open to the public. This was a welcome addition to the park. The engineering and permitting phase for the Lake Santa Fe restrooms and Veterans Park improvements has been completed. Cusco renovations are nearly complete and include a new office for the department. We anticipate hosting a grand opening after the conclusion of summer camps. The department goals for next year include completing the Cape Barnes boat ramp and dock improvements, which will include a new dock at the ramp and a courtesy dock along the bank. We will complete the Copeland Community Input and Design phase. We will start the construction phase for Lake Santa Fe and Veterans Park this year, with completion anticipated by the end of 2023. Our department challenges have been meeting increased demand with limited staffing. This makes it difficult to stay ahead of workloads and be more proactive versus reactive.
The Alachua County Arts Council has been kept busy since its inception in 2017. The council has made public art recommendations that have resulted in Lady Justice, Alligator, Tree of Life, Unbridled, Let the Legend Live On, Bounce, and 10 other unnamed works valued at more than $1.6 million. 7 other projects are underway. The West Lawn sculpture, a Sankofa in honor of Dr. Patricia Hilliard Nunn, will be unveiled on Juneteenth, 2023. At the Sports Event Center, our mural in honor of legendary track coach Jimmy Carnes, known as Let the Legend Live On, is complete, and sports-themed silhouettes have been installed on the exterior of the building. Bounce, our sculpture, will be installed this summer. Fire stations 21 and 80 are each receiving a bronze sculpture installation. We received 12 submittals for those projects. We also funded art supplies for a mural at Animal Resources with artist Ariana Uberte donating her time. We held our 2nd annual artist conference at Cuskawilla Nature and Retreat Center in May. Sessions included topics such as grant writing, fundraising and marketing your art, local resources for getting your art out into the world, a poetry reading by Alachua County Poet Laureate, and more. We also offer an art loan program for local artists to display their work in the Jack Durrance Auditorium. Finally, our Poet Laureate, E. Stanley Richardson, is provided an annual honorarium to write original poetry for a variety of county programs and events. His poem, Eden of the South, opened last year's annual report.
2022 was a transitional year for Animal Resources. The shelter faced a lot of challenges during the year, but ultimately came out stronger and more resilient than in years past. We finished 2022 with a live release rate of 90%, but the struggles to get there were realized by our incredible staff, our volunteers, and this wonderful community. Everyone wanted us to do better, to be better, and to humanely house the animals in our care, while showing compassion, understanding, and forgiveness to the people we serve. Our commissioners and our county stepped up to make the needed changes a reality. From painting our exterior shelter to adding shade covers to our kennels, removing our incinerator, HVAC repairs, and a whole remodel of our lobby with sanitary flooring throughout. All of these changes make an impact to those who help us make a difference. Dogs that were once housed in crates were able to find a new lease on life. Adopt-a-thons and other adoption drives and rescue partners answered our calls for help to reduce our population without mass euthanasia. We hired officers, additional staff, and investigators to address the backlog of calls that had piled up over the year. New leadership was brought in to innovate and change the landscape for how the shelter operates on a daily basis. Managed intake became the norm, with a vow to never go back to crate housing again. We recently had a beautiful mural installed courtesy of one of the hottest artists in Gainesville, and our commissioners who desired a welcome change to the concrete block that greeted visitors when they came to our shelter. An entirely new shelter for Alachua County is just on the horizon. We are looking ahead to fiscal year 23-24 with great hope, new community outreach possibilities, and a new type of animal shelter that will serve all of our residents.
The Department of Court Services received a 3-year certification from the Commission on Accreditation of Rehabilitation Facilities, CARF, for metamorphosis and OPUS treatment programs. Court Services also achieved Innovator County status as part of the Stepping Up initiative, making us one of only 39 counties that have gained this distinction nationwide. Collaboration with community support services and behavioral health stakeholders successfully promoted coordination to advance the concept of a central receiving system for Alachua County. Commissioners approved funding to the behavioral health provider for a portion of construction and operational expenses. Department staff engaged criminal justice stakeholders to revise the first appearance pretrial investigation summary form to eliminate the bond narrative and recommendations. In addition, The department is awaiting the final analytical study results of the Florida Risk Assessment Inventory to determine the equity and the fairness of release options. Through the assistance of the Justice and Mental Health Collaboration Program, the department validated the brief jail mental health screening tool, which was implemented to assist the Alachua County Jail in the early identification of detainees with behavioral health problems. Court Services pretrial and probation programs are preparing for Florida Corrections Accreditation Commission mock audit and assessment. And in addition, Court Services pretrial program will pursue reaccreditation through the National Association of Pretrial Service Agencies. The department plans to implement a new electronic health recording system to improve clients' clinical and case management within the META and OPUS programs. In collaboration with community support services and criminal justice stakeholders, Court Services is working to establish a reentry hub. So the primary challenges the department will face are maintaining stability and performance as the department navigates a change of leadership.
I had the privilege of coming on board in July of 2022 as Director of Facilities Management, and we were tasked with creating a countywide master plan. The objective was to identify office space for government departments, recommend consolidations based on efficiencies, service requirements, and building condition assessments, and finally, evaluate preliminary cost implications of new and/or renovating buildings. Phase 1 of the master plan was unanimously approved by the County Commission in January 2023. We have submitted and been approved for several new position classifications. It should be mentioned we requested no additional positions. The intent was to develop a comprehensive plan that would not only create a more efficient system, but also provide opportunities for upward mobility and career advancement. The first step was to create a set of standardized trade classifications that would accurately reflect the skills, experience, and responsibilities required for each position within the department. Currently, we have created and advertised 2 new high-skilled trade positions that will be filled during fiscal year 2023. To ensure that our team had a clear path for advancement, we also created a system of mobility opportunities within the maintenance division of the department. This included reclassification of existing position descriptions, as well as outlining the specific skills and experience required for career advancement. To summarize, we now have the opportunity for some of our lower skilled positions to advance and develop trade-specific skills. In addition, creating these opportunities had to come with a training program. We are currently working with the local trade schools to develop formal training. Overall, I am proud of the path the department has set in a very short time. Over the next year, I see the attainable goals of staff development, continued implementation of the county master plan, and positive budgetary moves.
CareerSource North Central Florida piloted the Community Health Worker Program in collaboration with the University of Florida Office of Professional Workforce Development. This program provides participants 4 to 6 months of courses, 40 hours of community mentorship, and up to 2 years of on-the-job training. We currently have 9 people in this program. We received a state-level Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act grant called Get There Faster for $893,000 to support at-risk Floridians. This program trains low-income participants in IT technology and provides on-the-job training with participating employers. Participants receive classroom training and further skill enhancements through technical skills learned while employed. 13 participants have completed the Santa Fe College Workplace Readiness courses and are enrolled in next-level IT training. The Alachua County Job Fair last October had 120 job seekers attend. We hosted Pathways to Possibilities, a National Apprenticeship Week event on November 16, 2022, showcasing local apprenticeship opportunities from the Builders Association of North Central Florida, the Florida Behavioral Health Association, Santa Fe College, and the Electrical Training Alliance of Gainesville. The Welfare Transition Program has performed spectacularly. Even through the difficult pandemic times, the program was able to get many customers employed. Our goals over the next year will be to develop a plan to ensure a successful implementation of board consolidation with Region 7, and to provide more affordable ways for companies to train new employees, upskill current employees, and ultimately provide opportunities to individuals with barriers to employment. A major challenge over the next year will be the state-mandated workforce board consolidation. This process will take place over the next 16 months, which will allow time to plan for a smooth transition. To ensure their success and take full advantage of this opportunity, a detailed plan and methodical approach will be developed.
I'm very proud of my staff and their accomplishments, and I look forward to the challenges of the coming year.